Hi, my fellow foodies. Welcome to As the World Eats. Today we're talking about street foods in Athens. We walked around the Plaka, Montestraki Square again, and all the way to the Central Market. Along the way, we stopped. We had gyros. We stopped for spinach pie and at this bakery. So this is the bakery. I've already talked earlier about the olive oil baklava, but there are some other treats I wanted to try. So one was this pistachio baklava, nice, full of pistachios, versus the other had a different kind of nut. I would say that one was, I think the other one was maybe walnuts. So this one is chock full of fresh pistachios, and they make these fresh. Looks like lots of honey. You can just see all those layers, tons of pistachios, and a very flaky crust. So we're going to test that one. Okay, cheers. That is very, very moist. Lots of honey through all the layers. Crisp on the top layer, but the rest of it is very soft, very moist, and very full of pistachios. Great pistachio flavor. Yeah, and the honey flakiness on the top is very good. It's very interesting that they're all just a little bit different, all the baklavas I've had, but yet they're all delicious in their own way. So if you want pistachios, I would recommend this one, a 9 out of 10. It was really delicious. And another treat that I had there that looked interesting to me was figs. It was figs and nuts, and it just looked really good. Kind of like a homemade fig Newton type of bar. Although I will say it is probably a little bit harder, drier than our traditional fig Newton. Yeah, you can taste that. I had a spinach salad last night that had figs on it. That was fantastic. So that was great. It's neat to try something. Figs are much more common here, I would say, and therefore, even in the market when we walked around, I saw a lot of dates. I don't know if I saw as many figs, but delicious. Okay, let's try it. It's much harder and drier than a fig Newton is, but the stuffing inside tastes very similar. I want to taste just that part again. The middle part was like a fig Newton with nuts. And it has that very similar taste, maybe not quite as sweet as a fig Newton, but very reminiscent of it. But the outside is much drier, and I prefer the softer cookie of a fig Newton. So while I can appreciate the middle stuffing, I don't care as much for the cookie itself. So I would probably give this a 6 out of 10 rating. Okay, so those are my baked goods from the bakery on the street. Okay, so another food that I got while I was out on the street today was fresh made spanakopita spinach pie. I have had some today up in the hotel restaurant for our breakfast. They serve the cheese pie and the spinach pie, but I wanted to try one from on the street, see if it's the same, see if it's different. Both, I noticed this one and the one upstairs are served cold, and I would love to have it warmed up. But we don't have a microwave here. If I did, I think I would love it even more, because it just all that gooey cheesiness and the spinach inside. I would like that. So it would be really good warmed up. Ooh, very flaky and just packed with spinach. You can see the flaky layers. You can see there. So that's really nice. This one also has onions in it. Maybe they all do. I don't know. But the other one that I had this morning, didn't have big onions like this. This has onions, and it just smells delicious. Smells like the spinach and the nicely cooked flaky bread, and then the cheese. Oh, delicious. Here we go. Cheers. The dough on this is so good. It's so flaky. It's like the best pie crusts. Oh man, buttery. I could just eat that alone too. So good. But then mixed with the spinach, it's a great combination. I feel like I could just eat this whole thing. Because it's spinach, you think, surely it's okay to eat this whole thing, right? It's great. So 9 out of 10. This is in Athens. We stopped at a local place to try a chicken gyro on a pita, tzatziki sauce. It even has fried potatoes in it. Street food, handheld, very convenient, and only €3. Okay, cheers.
This is so much better than that.
The chicken is salty and soft and just full of flavor until they put spices on it, maybe paprika and oregano with the tzatziki sauce to cool everything down and make it refreshing. Delicious. This is what I was hoping for. The tzatziki sauce on this is actually has a little kick to it. It definitely has chunks of real cucumber, and it has some kind of a spice to it. I think a little more of a kick. So good. Better than the tzatziki that we usually get at home. Delicious. And I'd say a 10 out of 10. I now know the correct pronunciation is gyros, but I didn't know that at the time. I guess it wouldn't be complete to visit Athens without making a visit to the Central Market. And if you see behind me, there is the Central Market. It is full of very, very fresh beef, chicken, and fish, all in its fully natural form. Very interesting that this is how a lot of the world shops for its food. Just all the raw product sitting out. And yeah, it was a very interesting experience. You could see, brains and entrails and everything right there. So it was a good experience. I'll just show you a quick little, and there you can see So very nice, very fresh, raw product. Okay. It's not very often in the States that you see raw animal carcasses being hauled off in a shopping cart. So thanks for joining me on this episode of Street Foods from As the World Eats. I just want to restate, this may be my favorite thing that I've eaten the whole time I've been in Greece. It is really good. The crust is so flaky, so delicious. And the spinach, I'm sorry. I'm going to be here finishing this whole thing. Thanks for joining me on As the World Eats.